Pan Africa TV, it just gets better. Today on One, Always There. Today on One, your daily dose of local affairs and social media commentary. Today on One, mysterious fires leave 2 families homeless. Walvis Bay residents brought to their knees. MTC to build 4 classrooms in support of the education sector. And Boxing Club founder weighs in on importance of grassroots development.
Two unexplained fires have occurred in a space of 5 days in Hakahana and Okahanja Park, where 2 families were left homeless and are now appealing for assistance from the public. The first fire occurred in Okahanja Park in the early hours of Thursday when a family of 4 were woken up by fire. They were able to escape unharmed but lost all their belongings. The second fire occurred in Hakahana. Fortunately, no one was home when the fire broke out.
The fire broke out at 3 in the morning. We were sleeping and we have no idea where the fire came from. We just saw the fire. My son and I ran out of the house with 2 other kids. We did not manage to grab anything at all. All our properties got burned. We lost a lot. We are asking for any good Samaritan to help us as we have nowhere to sleep and nothing to feed. If there is any good Samaritan out there that has anything to give us, we will appreciate it a lot.
We don't know what brought the fire because they don't use matches, only torchlights, although they do use a gas stove, but according to them, they went to bed at 8 p.m. and the fire broke out at 3 a.m. in the morning and everybody was at home that time. They were left with nothing and fortunately enough, no one sustained any burns as they escaped in time. It's the second time this shack is burning and the first time it burned was last year and the family managed to put it back together. We just don't know what causes these fires.
The fire did start on Saturday, but I don't really know the time. And I need help for my kids and for me.
Moses Karup constituency councillor and a GBV activist have come to the aid of the 2 families with building materials and food items, calling for more assistance and urging residents to practice care and safety to avoid such incidents.
As the councillor, I am in sympathy with the community when it comes to fire, destroying the property. And I used to educate people through radio communication, always in the morning. Even today, I was talking in the morning, saying that please, people must take care of the fire. When you put the candle on, you must be responsible for the candle until you put it off again. As a councillor to the community, to the Zambian people at large. So please, they must assist the councillor when it comes to, a fire that is destroying people's material.
They have children to take care of. They need children. Their children have to be at home. So I'm basically joining them to plead with members of the public who can assist them with wood, zinc, just to rebuild their home. That kind heart towards this family will make that difference in the society. Because there are times that situations like this could lead into depression and frustration, and at times even lead to suicide out of frustration. So I just want to plead with the members of the public who can assist this family with whatever they can. And a word of advice, people should be more careful to avoid such incidences, especially during this period, this weather, where the incidences of shacks getting burnt is very high.
In a separate incident, Wolfish-based Twaloloka informal settlement was ravaged by fire last weekend, where hundreds lost their shelter and belongings. The chairman of the Erongo Regional Council, Jusu Kambwes, also traveled from Swakopmund to make sure that some residents were placed in tents, while members of the Defence Force and Namibian Navy also provided tents and blankets.
Hi, I'm Sam.
I'm also Sam.
Meet my little Sam. Only the best for my son.
Sam! I'm Sam!
This is Sam, live.
I'm Sam and I'm fun.
No two people are the same, so why should their cover be? New personal cover from Old Mutual lets you build the cover that's right for you and your budget. And it's easy to change as your life does too. The time is now to get personal cover that's just for you. SMS cover to 66522 today.
The residents of the fishing town of Walvis Bay have turned to the Almighty God to save their town from the coronavirus pandemic. This comes after the head of state, Hage Geingob, declared the coastal town as the epicenter of the pandemic.
Let your mercy speak for Walvis Bay. Let your mercy speak for us, Lord. Forgive our sin, Lord Jehovah.
The Erongo governor and religious leaders gathered at a church in Netherville to pray for their town and seek salvation from God. Religious leaders at Walvis Bay urge community members and political leaders to acknowledge the power of God, especially in crisis situations. Pastor Mark Beekers of the Maranatha Lutheran Church said that the country has too many leaders that govern on their own strengths and knowledge.
The Creator of heaven and earth. So worship the Mayor, not by yourself, not on your own strength, but from the Lord our God. Our help comes from the Lord. Let us keep faith. Let us not lose hope.
Erongo Governor Andre Neville expressed gratitude towards spiritual leaders that have been of great support to communities and frontline workers in the fight against COVID-19. He also urged spiritual leaders to visit isolation facilities and pray for them through assistance by relevant authorities.
Share with us on #LearnOn1. Tell us what you're learning and where you're learning it from. Send us your name and town to the One Africa TV's WhatsApp on 081 200 6659 or send an SMS to 555. One Africa TV. It just gets better.
The mobile telecommunications company MTC, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, is building 4 classrooms for 2 schools in the regions of Kunene and Kavango West. The education sector is currently facing the challenge of providing education to learners during a health crisis, and the minister says that such initiatives from corporate partners give hope to the ministry.
MTC Rural Schools project, just to sum it up, we're starting with 2 schools in the regions that were mentioned, building 4 brand new classrooms. The intention is also to give those classrooms with desks and chairs, and we're starting in 2020 with 2 schools, and we will then proceed to start with other schools as the years go by. And obviously we will be guided by the ministry in terms of the most needy schools across the country. And when I say across the country, I mean in the south as well, from the south to the west.
The first two recipients are Sinzogoro Combined School in Kavango West region and Okadaune Primary School in the Kunene region. The MTC Chief Executive Officer Liki Erastus said that the building of the new classrooms for these schools should be completed by the end of September this year.
This is definitely in line with government's national development strategy. The Sizongoro Combined School that is situated 30 kilometers west of Rundu in Kavango West region, and Okondone Primary School situated 5 kilometers before Opuo, Kunene region, will be the first beneficiaries. All these schools have indicated that they need 4 classrooms each, and we will therefore build 4 classrooms at each school. It is our intention to finalize this project by end of September 2020 and help more schools that are in need in 2021. Our focus will be on any rural school across the country that is in dire need of assistance, and we will liaise with the ministry to guide and advise which schools should be next in line and prioritized.
Minister of Education, Arts and Culture said that the public and private sector should stand united in the vision of ensuring that every Namibian child is taught in a decent classroom.
Under this new normal presented to us by the devastating COVID-19 pandemic, the ministry is greatly challenged with a lack of classrooms, dilapidated and inadequate ablution facilities, learners squatting due to lack of hostel spaces, to mention but a few. This in turn means that some safety measures like social distancing in classrooms and hostels will prove difficult to implement in the aforesaid shortcomings if the aforementioned shortcomings are not mentioned or are not addressed immediately and collectively. The latest statistics show that we need 5,169 more classrooms countrywide. And if you are not provided with these classrooms, the ministry would be not able to meet the requirements it is required by the World Health Organization.
The Education Ministry is in the process of building various schools with students from NIMP that are part of the MTC Namibia National Internship Program.
When you're saying things that degrade women, for me, number one, I am not there, because that is basically what I don't believe in. I don't stand for things that degrade women.
What do you think we can add? What do we put in the basket?
First of all, let's put Blossom back in the basket.
Look at the person like, man, let's do a song.
Let's do something.
Just
let's
like
collaborate.
Let's collaborate.
Yeah.
Americans were claiming us.
Yes, exactly. To the rest of the world, they belong to us. Namibia, Baba, Namibia.
I'll help you carry on.
Creating music and putting some stuff out for the people who've been supporting me, that's definitely something that's next on my list.
AC Boxing and Fitness Gym was formed in 2018 and is currently accommodating 70 boxers, with 10 being professional boxers and 3 coaches. The founder Emmanuel Paulus sat down with Today on One and shed some light on development and the 3 years as a stable owner. Owner and founder of AC Boxing and Fitness Gym, Emmanuel Paulus, described the 3 years as a success despite not receiving any sponsorship.
You know, it's here. You need to have a sharp mind, you see. So when you have a sharp mind, that becomes your credit card at the end of the day. So, and to me, you know, when you love the sport, you always make plans. Sometimes it might not be expensive as people think it is. You see, it's just the understanding and the interest and the people that's sitting in corporate. You know, that's why my aim is It's not really to compete or to say, no, why I didn't get this, why it will only go to this. But as long as I know I can't stop doing what I have to do, you see, then you can see my work is in black and white. The last fight that was cancelled was Desert Storm Lucas Zakaria fighting for the WBC World Title Eliminator. So for me, I'm motivated because the level where my boxing academy is, or our boxing academy is, it's at another level where everybody else cannot be, even though you have enough fun. Because you need good fighter. That's more important, because I rather have fighters than a sponsorship. When I have fighters that believe in me, that trust in my work, they have seen what I have done, my experience that I pick up, how I get my exposure, how I invested in the career of boxing, how I make sure that I need to see the right people that can take the sport to the next level, because I can only sell a fighter, you see, at the end of the day. And my fighter, they are marketable. You see, they are worth investment. And I think that's more important to me, because that's what I want to be. I want to produce world champions, you see. And champions, once they are good, sponsor will come.
Paulus also weighed in on the importance of grassroots development, stating that with more youth development, the country will be able to produce world champions in boxing.
Development is very important. Look, if you look at other development countries, and then you look at in Africa, so we fail to develop the kids from the grassroots. So start them off when they are 8 years old with the basics. When they are 10, basics, 13, they start fighting, do self-sparring, and then so that you can have a fighter or a boxer qualify for Olympic Games at the age of 15 and 16. So now, and then when they qualify at the age of 15 and 16, they will be able to turn professional by the age of 18. Then they become world champion when they are 20. So most of the time, the disadvantage that in Africa is whereby most of our kids, they start the sport very late. That's definitely after they finish grade 12 and they are already like 18, 19. So then you need like 4 to 3 years to become a great athlete. So, and then by the time you turn professional, or maybe by the time you represent your country at the Olympic Games or Commonwealth Games, you are 24. And then by the time you turn pro, you are like 29. So you are no more a prospect, but we call those prospects at the age of 30, 29. But now the problem comes here. When you go and compete with those young kids that started boxing at the age of 8, with good facility, good coaches, with good exposures, at the end of the day, you will remain behind. But now when we start from the grassroots, I think we have good talents. If our guys can make it to the World Championship, even though when they start late, what if they start early?
Due to COVID-19 regulations, the center has been closed, but Paulus has set his focus on local boxing bonanzas.
From Cape to Cairo, Accra to Antananarivo, there are millions of people just like you trying to make a living to make money. And there's no magic way to get rich quick, unless you're Aliko Dangote. You're not Aliko Dangote, are you? No? Well, perhaps we can help you get a little further along the way. With BBC reporters all over Africa, we find the stories, the successes, and the startups that will help you make the most of your money. This is Smart Money.
In other leading stories, the One Economy Foundation hosted the first part of the COVID-19 survival kit for youth entrepreneurs. Sam Mandela Itani, Chief Executive Officer Designate, said the forum has provided a space to discuss the most pressing challenges that youth entrepreneurs are facing during COVID-19 and to brainstorm practical and actionable ways to mitigate the negative impact of the pandemic on their businesses and mental health. A critical outcome from the forum was to build the resilience of entrepreneurs, which is a prerequisite in building strong businesses. The forum also addressed the issues that contribute to mental strain, specifically debt and limited understanding of financial management. Technology is a powerful tool that can be leveraged to address emerging mental health challenges in an innovative, responsive and timely manner. The Youth Forum explored the intersections of mental health and technology by incorporating numerous tech-enabled simulations. These engagements allowed entrepreneurs to interact with apps and group games centered on mental health, its effects, and tech-enabled coping mechanisms. The interaction session was achieved through a smart partnership between the Collaborative and Innovative Tech Hub and the One Economy Foundation. The forum reinforced the importance of holistic response to the needs of youth entrepreneurs and critical opportunities that youth can leverage to future-proof their business and accelerate their growth and in new markets and industries. The second part of the COVID-19 Survival Toolkit is scheduled to take place on the 8th of August and will zoom in on the changing business landscape and how youth entrepreneurs can innovate businesses to remain competitive.
Welcome to Comments Corner, your daily dose of local comments from the hottest social media pages. The Popular Democratic Movement Party Secretary General Manuel Ngaringombe blames a dark cloud looming over Walvis Bay's Tololoka informal settlement on bureaucracy and incompetence of the Walvis Bay municipality and central government. The Sopo Party Youth League leaders who were engaged on the ground at the scene yesterday say that people should not be politicizing this unfortunate incident. Panduleni said that no person is to blame for the tragic incident at the coastal town and that Swapo did not cause any fire. Emmanuel said the official opposition party is reactionary and known for cheap political comments during unfortunate events by blaming the government. Natasha said no one knows why this had to happen but God, as everything has its time. Angula agrees with the PDM statement on this matter. Boele wanted to know when the former independent candidate for the presidency will grace the town of Walvis Bay with his presence and sympathize with his followers. Windhoek residents marched to the municipal building last week and handed over a petition asking that the city not increase its municipal services charges for the next 2 years. Martha said the landlords should reduce rent as well. Nambahu said that he supports the march as the city cannot increase charges for the purposes of acquiring a fleet. Nico said the city plans to take accounts to revenue collectors with a 30% levy. The Yama said the city should opt to reduce benefits for its management. While Hannett said that the city has already started to send out red letters to house owners. And that is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day only on Today and One.
We always love to hear from you. Send us your views, comments and videos with your name and town to the One Africa TV's WhatsApp on 081 200 6659 or send an SMS to 555. One Africa TV, it just gets better.
talk about the coronavirus outbreak here in Africa. How do you get people to regularly wash their hands when water is scarce? How do you get people to work from home when majority of Africans work in the informal sector?
People are dying and suffering.
More importantly, how do you get a vibrant and dynamic continent to stop in its tracks? Welcome to The Breakdown, BBC Africa's COVID-19 special program, helping you make sense of the crisis.
A look at the weather forecast. First, an advisory from the Windhoek Met Office. East wind conditions are expected to set in on Thursday over the coastal regions extending into the weekend. The Namibia interior cold at first, otherwise sunny and mild in the south, elsewhere warm, becoming hot in the far north later. The coast partly cloudy and mild to warm with fog patches at first, and the wind moderate to fresh southwesterly. Now we look at minimum and maximum temperatures across the country and beyond.
Well done, Soap and Water! You got rid of all the germs on Achilles' hands!